How's it going, guys, and welcome to today's video where I'll be covering how I create and find the media I'm using for my pen and paper games. Firstly, let me start off with pictures and music, because it's really simple how I do that. Honestly, for pictures, I just start Googling, because Googling will bring you tons of results for every kind of theme you could think of, and if you don't have to care about commercial licenses and all this stuff, it's really the easiest way and it brings you what you need. Same with music, although I'm not using Google but YouTube for that. But if you're searching for music for your pen and paper games on YouTube, you will also find a ton of results. Most of the time you're probably gonna use movie or game soundtracks, but sometimes you also find some artists that are releasing their own works onto YouTube, and really, if you don't have to care about licenses, again, you can use what you want. Just for an example, when you're making the pirate theme pen and paper game, well, you have Pirates of the Caribbean, you have Monkey Island, and they will bring you a lot of soundtracks for that. Or if you're making a space themed game, you can go for Interstellar or Mass Effect or anything like that. So you get the idea. There's tons of results, tons of things that you could use, and it's not really that hard to find something that suits your need. But regarding maps and battle maps, I'm actually using two softwares that are from the same creator and which are pretty nice, so I'm gonna introduce you to them right now. So if you want to create maps like this one, which is actually the first one I've ever created in the following software, or this one, which is the second try, I think this turned out a lot better, to be honest. Let me introduce you to Wonderdraft, which is a software by Megasbloot, and it just allows you to create maps on a large scale. It's a one-time purchase software. I think it's like $30 or something like that. And yeah, you can choose how big the map is. You can also choose themes for that. I don't know, let's go with feudal. And then it's loading up all of these assets. You can also add assets without a problem. You can download some online even and just add them to the list. It's loading up. You'll start with just a big screen of water without anything on it, but let's say you want to add, I don't know, a continent on there. You'll just draw your land on there, how big you want it and how you want it to look. I don't know, let's say we'll have just one big chunk of earth, maybe some smaller islands around it, but nothing too crazy. Now you could also say, I don't know, it's a post-apocalyptic world or anything. I wanted that the land has been split in the middle and that there's a big abyss inside, or maybe it's just broken. You could also have it like this, and then you can just make the edges look a bit better. You could also just use the tool over here, which is I think raise land or something like that, just to make the edges look a bit better. You can do that as well. So there's a tons of possibilities. I'm just gonna go with this right now. So yeah, you can see the edges look a lot better after doing this. Just not that straight edge you have over here. Looks a bit dumb, but yeah, you can do that all the way, maybe even to the islands. Yeah, you can just play around with it. And you also have the possibility to add paths to it. You could start putting, I think, towns and stuff like that on there. So maybe there are some towns that hate each other. You can also customize the colors actually. So some of those have customizable colors. I don't think those do, but those down here do. So yeah, you can see if you want some blue roofed cities instead, you can also do that. Yeah, add trees and all that stuff. So it just gives you tons of possibilities to create maps really quickly. You can even add regions and all that stuff, but I think you'll get the idea. So this is just a great tool for large scale maps and anything you could think of on that scale. You can even make city plans. If you have more of these smaller type assets like the city over here. Actually, let me check how many are there. I think there are also some for that. So you could also say, all right, I'm making a city plan, so maybe these islands aren't really big. It's just a very small island. So you could say, I don't know, this is the city I'm creating over here. And of course it looks a bit dumb right now, but if you actually invest some time into it, it'll look a lot better. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. That's what it's for. It's not really for battle maps or anything like it, but it's a great tool to play around. It also is a lot of fun to create these kind of things. I liked it a lot. I think on my first map I actually spent like 3 days in a row just creating maps on here. With a bridge over there. But anyways, yeah, I think you get the idea. It's a great tool. It's a one-time purchase, which is really a big pro considering the other possibilities you have. Most of the time there are subscription services, and I really like this tool just because it gives you tons of possibilities. It's kind of modular. You can also just plug in some assets of yourself into the list, and yeah, I love it. Now regarding battle maps, this is actually a battle map I've created some time ago, which is just like a volcano smithy with some access to, I don't know, a dwarven mine. I always figured it was a dwarven mine that leads to here. And this is created in Dungeon Draft, which is also a software by Megasploot, just not regarding the big scale maps, but instead it's targeting the battle maps. As you can see, it gives you the grid already, and also here you can choose how big should my battle map be. We could make it a bit bigger as well, and you can also, like the other one, just put your assets inside here. And yeah, in here you start off with a battle map that is just earth. So this time it's not water, it's earth, but you can draw some terrain in there, for example. Oh wait, it's already terrain, isn't it? You can do some different terrain over here, yeah. For example, you can have some gravel in there. You could build some snow, so you get the idea. You can build all the terrain you'd want. It's perfect for building battle maps. I think you can also, what was that? Yeah, you can also put some buildings in there quite easily. It's just drag and drop, which is very nice. So for example, wooden houses. You can also have these kind of ornate grounds with some cobble walls, for example. So you can quite easily create very different houses, buildings. You can also go for caves, actually. I like the caves because it just looks great when you create them. For example, you want to have a cave like here, and it also has some side caves which are leading somewhere else. Well, you do have to mind the proportions in which you're doing that, because right now this cave would be very narrow, regarding that one of these blocks normally is the size of a human, or a human standing place, if you want to call it like that. So yeah, this is a cave right now. It also creates the walls for you. You can also blast it open afterwards. So now it's an open cave you could go in from outside. Also put some doors in there, and yeah, it's working great. I think this one's not as fleshed out yet as the Wonder Draft. When I'm thinking about the versions, I think this one's not even in the 1.0 yet. Yeah, I think the other one was though. Yeah, definitely was. But yeah, this one just gives you the possibilities to create your own battle maps. So if you need a battle map, you can create it in this one. I also think this one is only $20, so it's a bit cheaper. And yeah, this is the one I'm using, especially for online games, because with games we're playing in person, most of the time I don't really create digital battle maps for that, because we're using the battle map from ChessX. But it's really great for online games, but maybe even at some point I could get some big screen or anything. I don't know. Would that work? Well, I guess that's a topic for another video. But yeah, this is the software I'm using for battle maps, and I can definitely recommend you to use it, because yeah, it just also gives you tons of opportunities to create your own instead of just looking online. So yeah, now that we covered pictures, music, battle maps and maps. I don't really think there's any other kind of media you really need for pen and paper games. Sometimes you might not even need all of those. So if I've still forgotten one, why don't you tell me down below in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys a lot for watching. If you liked it, I'm just here to remind you, maybe hit the subscription button below. But anyways guys, have an absolutely great day and I'll see you in the next one.